One of the most pain pointed questions I hear from other women entrepreneurs who have a great product to sell and a powerful message to share is that they can't figure out how to grow their audience quickly. It seems like they are putting themselves out there, doing all the right work, trying to grow the thing, but all they hear are crickets. And that's frustrating. I remember just a few short years ago being in the same boat, knowing God was calling me to this venture, but feeling completely lost because it just didn't seem to get traction no matter what I was doing. I felt like something was wrong with me or my messaging, or maybe even I needed to get my ears checked because I wasn't hearing God correctly. I mean, do you feel that too? If that's you, this talk is exactly what you need. Kristen and I will be working through how to leverage other people's audiences to grow your audience and email list through the power of collaboration, specifically with larger events such as a bundle promotion or virtual conferences. We'll touch on how these types of collaborations can help you get off social or at least stop being a slave to it. And we'll walk through the first steps to take if you want to host an event yourself. Kristen Dranchi is a Christian mindset and business coach for kingdom minded women called to the business space. She specializes in helping them clarify their calling, find their voice, and create a movement with their online business by God's design. She helps them create and launch their online business to a high quality email list, even if they are starting from zero, through simple, organic visibility strategies and collaborations so that they aren't being a slave to social media. She is also a mom against the mainstream agenda, wifey, ex 9 to 5er, freedom fighter, movement maker, and status quo rocker. She believes that your online business is your testimony plus battlefield. It is the place for you to show up and fight that battle the Lord has put on your heart to fight here on this side of heaven. She's been featured in a bunch of different virtual events and on various podcasts, and you're going to love this teaching with Kristen. So let's dive in. Hey, friend, welcome to Pursuing Goals God's Way. Have you thought about finally starting that business now that your kids are older? Do you ever stay awake wondering how to mesh your passions into purposeful work? Do you have big, ambitious goals but feel overwhelmed or even unqualified to pursue them? Hey, I'm Gabe. Not too long ago, I longed for the confidence to start an online business. I just wanted to make a difference outside my home bubble using my gifts. But I kept telling myself that I wasn't good enough, I didn't know enough, and I didn't have enough time. Until I realized something huge. My kids need me to be their example, and they need to see me win. And yours do too. In this podcast, you will learn how to clarify your goals, plan with purpose, and ditch your distractions. If you're ready to make an impact and an income, all for the glory of God, then you're in the right place. As an avid runner, I believe life is one massive marathon. It's up to you to run your own race and to finish it well. So lace up those running shoes, pop in your earbuds, and let's do this thing. Hey, Kristen, thank you so much for spending some time with us today to teach us more about leveraging strategic collaborations to grow our businesses.
Thank you for having me, Gabe.
And I have loved having you as kind of a coach and mentor through this whole process. I don't think I could have done it by myself. I mean, I could have, but there's so many intricate things that it was just so nice to have that step by step, have that guide. And it's perfect for what we're talking about today too. And one of the things that I want to start with is hearing a little bit about your experience. What has been the most confusing and overwhelming thing for Christian coaches and entrepreneurs, especially in the beginning stages of their business?
Yeah. So when I stepped into this online space, the first thing that we were told, or I was told, or I heard, from all the gurus in the online space was to, besides extracting what I like to call your God-given genius zone, the people that we're called to serve and how we help them, the number one thing that we're told after that is to build our email list or find our people. So we have our idea, we know how we can help someone, and then we are told, find your people, create a lead magnet, get it out there, and start adding people to your email list. And the number one hesitation or struggle that I had, and I see in my clients who are beginning or are women in the beginning stages, creating, building, and launching their online business, the biggest hesitation I saw was that nagging worry that they don't have a big enough audience yet, access to the right people who want what they have to offer, and then they're afraid to launch. or they're afraid to launch to crickets. So they're holding themselves back and not putting themselves out there because they don't feel like they have a big enough email list yet. And we know that we have to put stuff out there in order to get feedback, in order to make tweaks and changes and stuff that we need to make. But that's the number one struggle that I see, is that they're afraid to launch, or they launch to crickets and then they're changing up everything, and they didn't need to change up everything. They just needed to find more of the right people. And without that traffic that brings people into their realm of influence to create those potential clients, people that raise their hand and say, "Yeah, I want what you have to offer. I want to work with you." We're not getting paid, we're not making impact, we're not making income, which means that we're not tapping into what God wanted us to do on this side of heaven, and we're not using our gifts and talents. And then there's so much noise in the online space, everyone telling us to do something differently, post in Facebook groups and add value. And okay, well, what does that even mean? Because everyone's kind of doing the same thing, and that's only what they're there for, to post and add value. So hopefully, someone will see their post, go to their Facebook profile or the Instagram profile, and click that link and get on their email list. And that is just a slow growth strategy that leaves us overwhelmed, questioning our calling because things aren't happening fast enough, I guess I could say, even though it's all in God's timing. But that's just a strategy that leaves us overwhelmed, questioning our calling. And we constantly ask ourselves, Lord, did I even hear you right? Because this thing's not working.
Oh my goodness. You are like speaking my language from when I started, because I felt like, one, I was always getting ready to get ready to get ready, and it wasn't quite ready to launch, right? And I didn't have anyone to launch it to. And this was when I was starting, I started out by writing my first book. So I wanted to be an author. And then I was told, oh, you need an online business. So then that's how I got into the business space, really. But I just didn't know or have a platform of any kind, but I didn't really know what to do. But then I also did. I questioned that. I had these limiting beliefs that said, well, maybe I didn't hear you right, or this isn't where I'm supposed to be, or maybe my messaging's off, or maybe this and that, without actually going out and putting myself out there and testing it and coming up with some of these great strategies to do it. Because, like you said, I just listened to what everyone said and they said, get on social media. Well, it didn't work for me. Social media did not work for me. And so I just kind of banged my head against the wall for the first couple of years, not
Yeah.
just the first couple of months, the first couple of years. And it wasn't until I learned some of these strategies that my business actually took off. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about this today, because I know that you're very successful with running different online virtual events and different bundles. And I've learned so much from you about this. And now I want to know too, why is creating your own stage or different platforms, utilizing virtual summits and bundles, more powerful than maybe doing a typical lead magnet freebie on social media?
Yeah, I love that question. First and foremost is that creating your own stage and platform, such as something like this, or even your own bundle where people are just opting into and grabbing other gifts from other people. First and foremost, is something like this allows you to showcase your values, your morals, your beliefs, and really showcase who God created you to be, unlike a typical lead magnet that someone's just opting into, whether it be a PDF or something like that. But so that's first and foremost. It can showcase you so much better, but it allows you to get in front of other people's audiences. I think that is the number one, besides what I just mentioned, the other number one top thing is that it allows you to get in front of other people's audiences of the same ideal client, a complementary collaboration partner, but you have the same ideal client, which is going to rapidly build your email list without being a slave to social media, paying for Facebook ads, or spending large amounts of time on your phone or computer. But something like this, or doing your own stage, it's also going to allow you to capitalize on the momentum that the online space allows, because which people love, and our business loves momentum. And like I said in the beginning, no too many times as newbie Christian women entrepreneurs, we wait until we have 100, 200, 300 1,000 people on our email list before we even make an offer or sell. And by the time the 99th person gets on it, the first 10 are already gone because they're like, well, I wanted you to help me, but you never made me an offer or you never launched. So they're not interested anymore. So creating your own stage and platform, hosting something like this allows you to rapidly build your email list, add massive value for free, but at the same time, it's going to create those loyal raving fans who really want what you have to offer. And I love the term using these collaboration events as a launch runway because you've collaborated with some amazing people. You've added some amazing people to your email list, and then you can turn around and use this collaboration event, this stage, this platform that you just put on and added massive value, help the attendees or audience get quick wins and a transformation, and then you can use that as your launch runway and merge into a short boot camp, a webinar, whatever it is to launch your beta founding member program or open cart to your next program. So I love that it creates momentum in a short period of time and it shortens the customer life cycle of the know, like, and trust factor significantly versus just a lead magnet that they're opting into.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because I have been a part of the past year. I would say I've been a part of a lot of different collaborations like this where I've been a speaker at a different virtual event or virtual conferences. I've put some different products inside of bundles, and it's been a great way to grow and get visibility. But one of the reasons I decided to host this summit is because I wanted to cater it really toward my audience and the people I serve so I could really get particular about what we're talking about, who I'm bringing in to speak, knowing that it's going to bring that much more value for those. But then also, it's a bigger visibility for me as well. And my goal is to make it a win win for everybody, for the attendees, for my business, for the speakers' businesses. And I just thought that I love hosting events. So I'm like, why not? Now, the season that I'm in, probably not a great idea to host it when I did, but that's okay. It's a learning curve and it
Right.
was great and so much fun anyway. And so I think that summits and bundles are just such powerful tools that we don't leverage enough. Now, I've seen virtual conferences or virtual summits in all different forms and fashions from like 1 day to 5 day. Can you share a little bit more about what they can look like to give us a little bit of a visual of that?
Yeah. So I think they're really big in the business niche. You see a lot of, at least I do, because they're in my realm of influence. If this is your first event and you're like, oh, this is new to me, then great. Welcome. They're absolutely amazing. And you can use them in any type of niche or anything. You don't even need to be an online entrepreneur to do a virtual event, something like this. If you have a message, something that's passionate on your heart, you can use events like this to spread that message far and wide. So that's one thing that I love about that. But what was your question again? I forgot.
Look like? Some
Um,
people like this one's a 5 day, lots of speakers, all the things, but they can
okay.
look lots of different ways, right?
Yes, that's where I was going with that because you can use them in any different type of markets or niches and things like that. And they can look so much different. So I've even hosted a 1 day live event with 7 speakers. So they can be anything from a 1 day live event to, a 2 or 3 day even live event, or something like this that's a little bit longer, a 3 or 5 day event that has recorded presentations and interviews as well. It's really whatever you would like to do. I do recommend if you are using your event one just to share the message and what the Lord has on your heart to share. And then that goal is to build your email list and maybe launch after that. I do recommend having a little bit longer one with more speakers because it's going to rapidly increase that know, like, and trust factor, create an opportunity for your speakers as well, and establish those kingdom relationships, which are huge in the online space.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think I've seen different kinds of summits, business. I'm obviously in the business space too, so I've seen a lot of them, but crafting ones or
Yeah.
art or lots of music. There's so many different ideas. So whatever your business does, you can create one in that niche and serve an audience that will love what you're doing and create that know, like, and trust factor. So now there's those virtual events, and then there's the bundles. Now, what is the difference between a virtual event and the bundles?
Bundles are where you would lock arms with other complementary people would serve your ideal client. So, for example, I serve Christian women in the online space that want to start their online business and launch it. So maybe I would collaborate with other entrepreneurs or business owners that serve moms, but maybe help postpartum moms lose weight or help homeschooling moms do XYZ. So they would add value still to my audience, but in providing them a different type of opportunity. And then a bundle would be something that they would put little uh, collaboration or freebie collaboration gifts together that you could opt into, and then you would get a email or you would log into someone's back end of their program or something like that and get a little mini course. But bundles are little bits and pieces of freebies or strategic gifts that would add value to your ideal client, that are really not in competition with what you do, although there's no competition in the kingdom, but it's going to provide additional value for the audience that you serve. So that you would just opt into it, and there's nothing virtual. You don't listen to anything unless the little gift that you opted into is a mini course or program or a private audio podcast or something like that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that and telling us the little differences because they do kind of serve different purposes, but such great visibility strategies. Are you sick of not sticking with your goals? Sick of hustle culture and want a different strategy? Tired of working on your goals alone? Are you ready to get off social media while growing your online business, but still want connection and support? I got you, friend. Join us inside the Red Hot Accountability Club so that you can lean on others and be inspired to continue working on your goals, both in business and life. Yes, you can work your goals into your lifestyle without sacrificing everything to achieve them. When you join the club, you'll gain coaching, support, and encouragement in a private online space away from the noise of social media. I host a live monthly coaching session to answer your questions and give you feedback as you work toward your business and life goals. This session is a great place to connect with others and mastermind through challenges. Feeling stuck in the in-between? No worries. With the club, you have one-on-one access to me through email or the online community. Reach out anytime you have a question or need a little direction. Inside the Red Hot Accountability Club, you will own your own results, hold yourself accountable, and lean on others for support. If you've been looking for a simple off social media way to grow, then this is it. Head to redhotmindset.com/RHA to learn more and join us today. Again, that's redhotmindset.com/RHA, and I can't wait to welcome you inside the club. So tell me a little bit about how collaboration strategies like summits and bundles can replace your slow growth marketing strategies and kind of help you to not be a slave on social media, which is what we're talking about all this week.
Yeah. So summits and bundles and collaboration strategies can replace your it's still a slow growth marketing strategy, but it's not as slow as using a podcast to bring leads in or posting and praying on social media, right? And the ways that it can replace is because it allows for that kingdom collaboration, which is why we're here, right? To do business with God and with other believers. So it allows both you and the speakers to benefit, to grow your business, because a rising tide lifts all the boats. But it also allows you to advance and multiply your reach many times over. So you can stop doing all the things and being a slave to social media. Stop trying to update your Instagram stories. I mean, I'm hardly on social media at all, here and there, but it just allows you to multiply your reach over and over and over again and exponentially grow your audience and email list with the right people when it's done correctly, when you have strategic collaborations. And then it allows you through authority osmosis to quickly gain that know, like, and trust factor from that audience because you're providing massive value. And they can allow you to make revenue on the front end from VIP All Access Pass sales, upgrades to bundles, so many things that fall into hosting these strategic collaborations. So the main thing, just to kind of simplify what I just talked about, it grows your email list fast, it increases your authority and that know, like, and trust factor fast, and allows you to make income, cash injection in your business all at one time. There's nothing else out there in the online space in terms of a marketing strategy that will do all of these things all in one sitting.
That's so true. So you've probably convinced pretty much everyone that they need to look into this, right? So for summits and bundles, what would you say the getting started steps would be? What's the first thing that they could do if they decided maybe this is for me?
Yeah, so I would say the first thing that you're going to want to do if you want to participate in some sort of a collaboration would be to create a strategic lead magnet for collaborations only, something that's exclusive just for those, something that people can't find on your website, they can't purchase anywhere. It would be something of massive value that you would give away for free, but you can only get from the collaborations that you participate in or you host yourself. And then, so I would say that would be the first step. Take an inventory look at what you have, what you could extract maybe from a course or a program that would give people a quick win that they would want to opt into, but they can't find anywhere else that's just exclusive to those collaborations.
Awesome. And I'm also going to plug the Summits with Impact program that you run because that's what I'm in. That's what helped me to create this amazing event. And it's been priceless for what I've gained out of it and for having that business relationship with you, the mentorship. And so, if anyone is interested in hosting a summit specifically, I'll make sure to leave a link to Summits with Impact because I'm telling you, Kristen knows what she's doing and she provides so much support inside. And it's very affordable. Like, it's an investment, but it's very affordable. And you definitely can get your money back by just hosting the event. And so just want to plug that really
Thank
quickly
you.
here. But also, as we kind of wrap up, a couple last thoughts that I have is I'd love to just hear what you see as some of the top collaborative visibility strategies that have worked quickly for you or your clients.
Yeah, so there's two that I would recommend. If you're just getting started with collaborations, I would recommend a freebie swap. So once you have this collaboration lead magnet that you can use, find someone that's complementary to your ideal client and reach out to them and ask them if they'd be interested in doing a freebie swap, which basically means you would write an email talking about your freebie, your lead magnet, how you help someone, and they would send it to their email list and then they would do the same for you. Simple, it can be done in a day, within a week, really, honestly, within a day. And then you can add a significant amount of people to your email list. So that's one collaboration strategy. And then the next one, that's a really quick one. And then the next one that works really well, however, it takes a longer time, is a summit. It takes anywhere from 90 to 120 days, especially for your first time. After that, you already have the assets created, it goes a lot quicker. But it takes a while to plan and position a summit strongly and host a virtual event. However, I don't know what you say, the bang for the buck is so much higher on a virtual event. I have seen time and time and time again more leads brought in hosting a virtual event and more income made on the front end than any other collaboration strategy.
I love both of those options. One last final thing I have for you because we are talking about doing business without relying on social media. I'd love just to hear a little bit about your business relationship with social media. I know you use it some. So tell us how you're using it. Are you using it the way you want to? And do you have any boundaries that you've set for yourself?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So in the beginning, I had no boundaries and I let social media overrun me, I guess you could say. I remember being in my network marketing company, and on the holidays, they would promote something that if you did so many things or whatever, then you would win free stuff. And it was always on a holiday. And then I remember looking back, and my family would be on the sand dunes having fun, going up and down the sand dunes in the Jeep in the hot summer day, and I was in the camper working my business. And that's when I knew something needed to change, especially when I stepped into this online space of extracting knowledge and creating online business from it, I didn't want to be a slave to social media anymore. And I knew something needed to give. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with social media. I don't like it at all. However, when I wanted to get off, I heard the Lord say specifically to me, I mean, each and everyone's different, right? But that's where the people are, and that's where I need you to be in this season. And maybe next season will look different for me. But one thing that I do know when I serve busy moms who know that they want to come home, they want to raise their kids for the kingdom, but they also want to they have this desire to create an online business. We don't have time to sit there and wait for someone to see our post, which we know by the time we post, it's gone anyways. And we don't have the time to be a slave to social media. So that's why I'm a huge proponent of these collaboration strategies to build your email list and get launched to create that momentum that our business loves and step into our calling and who God created us to be instead of questioning it. Lord, did I hear you right? This isn't working.
Mm. And I love what you said about letting the Lord lead. Like he said, stay. So you're staying, you're remaining and being obedient. And I think that's one of the most important parts of building a kingdom business is to listen for his whispers or listen for those nudges and go until, right? Like just walk. Because sometimes we just stop and we wait for an answer where sometimes he just needs us in motion and he will shift us when he needs to. So just letting him lead, and if he says get off social media, like he told me, then get off social media. If he says stay and remain, then remain there. But do it with boundaries and make sure that you're doing it the way that you want to. And I think that you really show that in the business that you're building right now, Kristen. So I know that listeners are going to want to connect with you. They're going to want to learn more about how to do these awesome collaborations. And so you do have a free download for all attendees, and it's called the Kingdom Collaboration Toolkit. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's inside?
Yeah, so it's the beginner's guide to collaboration. So if this is new to you, you've never heard it, it's going to kind of walk you through the 6 steps that you need to have in place before you even start a collaboration. The first set is to have, or first step is to have a kingdom mindset, which is huge. That honestly what took me a while to get into is having a kingdom mindset. There's no competition in the kingdom and we don't have to be so protective, right? That took me a while. So that's the first step, but it walks you through a couple other steps of things you need to have in place before you even step into having a collaboration, hosting one, or doing a collaboration. And that also gives you some uh, different collaboration strategies that you might not have thought of. And it also gives you some terminology and definitions behind collaborations, lead generation, especially when you're new. These terms may be a little bit confusing, so it'll have that as well.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kristen, for this incredible session. You have been amazing. I'm so glad that you decided to say yes and join us here today. It gave us so many different ideas for how to do some of these larger collaborations and really fuel our business with quality leads for growth.
Yes, thank you, Gabe. This has been absolutely amazing. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time and I hope you did too. Before we go though, if you resonate with this episode, please consider leaving a review on iTunes or sharing it with a friend as it helps grow the podcast. Also, if you're not a part of the Red Hot Accountability Club, what are you waiting for? It's a private online community away from the noise of social media that provides coaching, support, and encouragement as you go after your biggest goals in business or life in a stressless, no hustle kind of way. Inside the club, you will own your own results, hold yourself accountable, and lean on others for support. If you've been looking for a simple, off social media way to grow, then this is it. Head on over to redhotmindset.com/RHA to learn more and join us today. Again, that's redhotmindset.com/RHA. And I can't wait to welcome you into the club. In all things I pray, you just run your race. I believe in you.